Hi everyone, it's Master Young here. I just wanted to throw a couple things at you that we've been talking a lot about in our classes. And I wanted to say a couple things just regarding some mindsets, some different ideas that are going to help you guys continue to get started here with the year. I know it's been a really crazy start to the school year and everybody's trying to find their rhythm. So I wanted to try to give a couple little quick tips that would allow you guys to maybe pick up some mindsets and maybe use them to help improve maybe the timing, the day-to-day processes that your family goes through. So today we're going to talk a little bit about consistency. I'm going to make it pretty fast so that you guys can get right back to work. But the three things that I want to encourage you to do with consistency. Number one, I want you to use a morning ritual. If you guys don't have a morning ritual, what I'm talking about is kind of like an action plan for getting yourself out of the house. You know, what time do you guys wake up? What do you do next? Do you eat breakfast together? Do you get dressed together? Like, how does that play out? What does it look like when you guys are getting ready for school? Is everybody kind of in a frantic pace trying to get their lunches made and backpacks packed, or were all these things set up the night before? For parents, sometimes this includes things like a morning meditation, a morning workout, something like that that gets you going as well. So step number one is I want you to try to figure out what your morning ritual is. You know, what time you wake up, when do you eat breakfast, how do you get ready for school, and then of course, what time do you leave without feeling the stress of the day? Element number two, I want you guys to focus on your sleep patterns. Like, what are the things that matter most when you guys are going to bed at night? Are you stress eating before bed? Are you feeling like you never have time to just sit down and have a meal before bed? You want to make sure that you're trying to eat a couple hours before you go to rest, that you're not eating, right before you sleep. Obviously, digestion overnight and just the general wellness of your sleep is going to change if you're eating right before you hit the bed that night. The other thing is do you actually have bedtime set for you and for your kids? Sometimes we say, hey, our kids are going to be in bed at a certain time, but we're just going to kind of veg out and relax until then. I want you to think about what your mindset is for what time you go to bed, and then of course, what your plan is to rise in the morning. And the last thing I want you to think about including into your week pattern is a family talk. I know that a lot of times people say, hey, communicate with your kids, communicate with your spouse, communicate with the people that are involved in your day-to-day routines. But the thing I want to point out is that we don't actually practice this very often. I want you to consider setting a time, maybe on a Saturday or a Sunday, where you guys actually talk about the week. If your kids are old enough, like teenagers, ages I'd say, 8, 9, 10, and they can actually offer their input on the week. Maybe they have something fun this week coming up. Maybe there's an extra activity that they want to go to. But actually having a moment where you sit down at a table or sit down at the living room and you talk about this adds a lot of value to your week, and it helps you with understanding like what the goals are for the week for your family. A lot of times, guys, we wing it, and that's just something that happens because of our day-to-day frantic lives. But if you're looking for a couple things that would help improve the consistency in your life, I want you to consider my three options. Use a morning ritual, focus on your sleep, and of course, get in a weekly chat with your family to understand what's going on in their lives too. I hope this was a helpful tip. If you guys have questions, reach out. I'm going to post this in our Life Mastery group. So if you have any questions from our Life Mastery group or from around the karate world, reach out. I'm happy to help. Have a great day.